This is a story so big, we need to break it into parts. Today, in Part 1, we trace the rise of the man who built the ultimate honey trap. How did a college dropout become the keeper of the elite's darkest secrets? Chapter 1. The Makeover of Epi. Jeffrey Epstein's story starts in Brooklyn, 1953, a smart, musically gifted kid from a middle-class family. He was a math whiz, skipping grades. But by his early 20s, he was a drift attending but never graduating from New York University. His big break? Somehow, he landed a job as a physics and math teacher at the elite Dalton School in Manhattan. It was here, allegedly already showing inappropriate interest in students, that he performed his first magic trick, meeting the parent of a student, the CEO of Bear Stearns Investment Bank. By 1976, he was fired from Dalton, but by 1980, he was a limited partner at Bear Stearns. The transformation had begun. Chapter 2. The Billionaire's Fixer and the Mysterious Fortune. After Bear Stearns, Epstein became a ghost, a financial troubleshooter for the ultra-wealthy. His most important client, Les Wexner, the retail billionaire behind Victoria's Secret. Epstein became Wexner's right-hand man, gaining power of attorney over his life and fortune. He moved into a $56 million Manhattan mansion Wexner bought. He presented himself as a talent scout for Victoria's Secret, a perfect cover. But here's the first major mystery. Where did Epstein's own massive wealth really come from? He claimed to manage money for billionaires, but only Wexner has ever been confirmed. Forbes later suggested much of his fortune came from enormous fees from just a few clients. Was he a genius investor, or was he providing other, darker services? Chapter 3. Building the Network, the Lolita Express. With Wexner's jet and connections, Epstein built his social weapon, access. He cultivated an image as a brilliant, eccentric philanthropist interested in science. He joined elite clubs like the Council on Foreign Relations. But his real networking tool was his private jet. Nicknamed the Lolita Express, it shuttled the powerful, high-profile people to his estates and his private island in the Caribbean. He was investing in people, and he was collecting them. Chapter 5. The Sweetheart Deal of a Lifetime. Federal prosecutors, led by U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, had a rock-solid 53-page indictment. They could have put Epstein away for life. Instead, they cut a deal. A secret plea bargain later described by a judge as a national disgrace. Epstein would plead guilty only to state prostitution charges. He would serve just 13 months in a county jail. Crucially, the deal granted immunity to any unnamed potential co-conspirators, protecting his powerful friends. Why? Years later, Acosta would claim he was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. The message was clear. He was above the law. His jail time was a joke. He was allowed out on work release for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. For a decade, that was it. Epstein was a registered sex offender, but he was free. He returned to his life, his island, his powerful circle. The victims were silenced, the world moved on. It seemed the spider had won. His web was intact. But in 2019, a bombshell investigative series by the Miami Herald shattered the silence. Public outrage exploded. And finally, the FBI moved. Climax: the arrest. On July 6, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested again. New federal sex trafficking charges. This time, there would be no deal. He was denied bail, called a danger and a flight risk. In his safe, investigators found cash, diamonds, and a fake Austrian passport from the 1980s. His homes were wired with cameras. Had he been recording the powerful people who visited him for blackmail? The stage was set for the trial of the century. A trial that would finally expose the secrets of the island, the jet, and the client list. But that trial never happened. On the morning of August 10, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. The ruling: suicide by hanging. But the evidence was bizarre. He had just been taken off suicide watch. The 2 guards on duty had fallen asleep and falsified logs. Cameras outside his cell malfunctioned. A private pathologist hired by his family pointed to injuries more consistent with strangulation. In an instant, the man who could name names was gone. And with him, the hope for answers died for many. So what really happened that night? Was it the desperate act of a man facing life in prison? Or was it something else? Who did Epstein's blackmail files ultimately protect? His death didn't end the story. It ignited a firestorm of conspiracy theories that burn hotter than ever. It led to the arrest of his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. And it left us with one haunting question. If Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, then who did? In Part 2, we dive into the aftermath, the Maxwell trial, the mysterious client list, the released flight logs, the hidden cameras, and the ongoing battle for the truth about what happened in that jail cell. The story is far from over.